There's this buildup of frustration inside of me. What do I do? Hey, brother, just got off the call with a gentleman in Europe. He was curious about what does he actually do? What are some steps that he can do when his wife is encroaching on his parenting? They're separated, they're living in the same house, and she's taking the reins and she's not allowing him to have his fatherly influence. She's not allowing him to lead. She's not allowing him to be a part of their 4-year-old daughter's life. Being a father is really important to him. He wants to have that time. And when she blocks him out, when she gives him that emotional stiff arm as far as parenting his own daughter, what can he do? He told me this is the last button that's left on his chest. If we have a control panel of buttons on our chest, and our spouse or our girlfriend or our soon-to-be ex can come in and just press any of those buttons and put us over the edge, send us off our emotional center, our masculine center, well, we need to rewire that. We need to cut the wires of those buttons that she can push. And I asked him today, what's the last button or what's the most sensitive button? And he said the last button is our daughter. When she can encroach and budge in and push me away from the time with my daughter, not allowing me to lead as a father, that's the last big button. And he said he has basically 3 levels. There's one, and he asks, please let me have time with her. Please back away and let me have time with her. And there's only 2 more. Basically, and he's saying that 3rd level is when he's likely to lose it and explode, cause an argument, yell at her, call her a name. He doesn't want. He actually said that it did escalate one time where, he physically tried to take space. He physically tried to say, this is my space, and didn't go well. Obviously not what we want to do, right? Obviously we never want to put our hands on a woman, and that actually terrified him, and it really scared his spouse as well, of course, right? And while ashamed of that kind of thing, I remember when my son was 3 years old and he really wasn't listening to my leadership. He wasn't taking my direction. And this is something super embarrassing for me, and I'll share it, that I got so angry that I actually put my elbow through a bathroom door. And I did that right in front of my son. And I felt so ashamed of doing that. What kind of a man, what kind of a father fucking puts his elbow through a door in front of his son? And that was just a horrible moment for me in the past. And well, what do I do now? And what did I recommend that this gentleman that I was speaking to do? All right, there's 3 levels of what we do. The first one is to notice, what does it feel like in our body when we're getting frustrated, or we're shutting down? So whenever we're getting this emotional rise because our button is being pushed, what do we feel in our body first? So for me, energy shoots up the back of my neck, it gets hot, and then my head gets tight. And when that happens, I know that I need to take action in some way or do something different because I'm starting to get frustrated, and my go-to is angry, right? So the first step is, what do we feel in our body? The second step is, what thought are we having that's a negative thought? So my thought with my son was, he's not listening to me, he's not respecting me, I'm a bad father. Well, how am I supposed to do this if he doesn't listen to? So it's all these negative things that are going on. And with this gentleman I was speaking to, she's trying to ruin my time with my daughter. She's trying to break up my relationship with my daughter. She doesn't care about me, all these negative thoughts. Well, let's switch that thought into something that's more reasonable and more positive. What else could be happening here? With my son, he's fucking 3 years old. He's just playing. He doesn't really understand that, to me, it's really important. And maybe it's not as important. Maybe I'm the one that's just not having patience. Maybe I had a bad day at work and I'm taking that out on this situation, and it has nothing to do with him. This gentleman, I was on the phone. Maybe she is feeling defensive. Maybe she had a bad day. Maybe she just doesn't want to lose the connection between her daughter, and she's feeling a little self-conscious and vulnerable now, and it's coming out in the situation. She's not doing anything personally to you. She's not trying to ruin you or ruin your relationship with your daughter. So let's change our thought process. And then what do we do? The third step is the action. What do we do? Well, it's much better to leave the room and take a break than it is to try to do something physical, like fucking putting your elbow through a door. Obviously, we don't want to do that. So leaving the room is a better choice than that. Or what I suggest that he do is recognize that she's pushed this button multiple times with him. He's asked nicely to have space. She's not giving it to him. Maybe she wants to give her daughter, I need to be the one that gives our daughter medicine. I want to do this. I'm the mother. She says, I'm the mother, I know best. That's his favorite one. I'm the mother, I know best. And man, that presses that button. So I'm the mother, I know best. So say, I'd like to talk with you in 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes of space. Is it okay if we talk in 2 minutes? So defining a certain amount of time that you're going to basically leave her alone with your daughter and see if she'll agree to speak with you in 2 minutes. And then walk to the other side of the room, turn your body sideways. You don't want to just stare her down across the room, like, oh, for one's a 2 minutes. So you're not trying to stare her down and be intimidating. You don't need to turn your back to her like you're shunning the situation or you're resentful. Just turn your body, give her space, give her the 2 minutes, maybe check your phone to give her the full 2 minutes, and then come back and say, is this a little better time? I'd like to talk with you. And then that way, you two as a parent and the adults can take some space and discuss, this is my time as a father to be with our daughter. And that's really important to me. I know that you wanted to give her that medicine. It seems like that you've done that. Now I'd really like to ask you to please let me have the time with my daughter. So we've gone through the process of what does it feel like in our body? What's the thought we're having? And what do we do about it? This is what I recommended to this gentleman. You can use this in any situation. The difficult part is remembering step 2. What are my thoughts about this? So that's why the first step is always to recognize what we feel. If we can feel that pressure, that heat like I do, and that pressure in my head, and catch myself, wow, I'm feeling heat and pressure in my head. Okay, what's the thought process? What's the negative thought process that I'm having right now? Let's try to flip the script to recognize there's probably another side that has nothing to do with attacking me. It's not about me. Let me put my fucking ego to the side for a minute and think about what else could be going on here. What are they going through? Let me have maybe some gratitude for this situation. That's a way to flip out of anger or frustration, is to have some gratitude for the situation. Look at this. I get to have some time with my 3-year-old boy right now. He gets to have some time with his 3-year-old daughter. Let's just not create an explosion. So what do? Let's take some space. Let's ask for 2 minutes. Let's give some space for a couple of minutes and come back and readdress. Man, that's so much better than putting your goddamn elbow through a door. That's what I tell myself. What a regretful day in my past that I'll never forget. And I never want to do that again. So give that a try, guys. Talk to you later.
I'ma tell you about a woman whose heart is sunshine, whose body burned hot. I'ma tell you about a woman who's cold as tundra, with some frozen eyes. I can tell by the way she moves that she cares, and it's lovely too.